Welcome to this guided mindfulness session. I'm Curt Woolford, mindfulness consultant, trainer, and coach. I specialize in mindfulness and healthcare for both patients and providers. I am honored to be partnering with Unbound Medicine for this mindfulness series for nurse educators and students. This session will focus on mindfulness-based strategies for increased focus and resolve. The practice we're going to use is mindful noting, a simple yet powerful technique for increasing awareness and focus and reducing anxiety. Before we get into the practice itself, let's review the nature of mindfulness, getting into the heart of mindfulness. So this cartoon that says it all. So we've got the human on the left, distracted with thoughts about the past and the future, concerns, the to-do list. We've got the dog on the right who's absolutely present. Dogs are very mindful, very small brains. They can't lean into the past or the future. So they're just fully present. So as humans, when we practice mindfulness, we need to do this deliberately. So we need to pay attention on purpose, the first of the three key elements. And we want to do this in the present moment, capturing the present moment, noticing what's happening right here, right now. And non-judgmentally, we want to suspend judgment for what's happening in the moment. And we also want to suspend judgment for the practice that we're using. So let's move into our practice of mindful noting. It's very simple, and we'll take some twists and turns with this as we practice. So as you begin, you can simply begin to soften your gaze. Maybe close your eyes. And begin to feel the breath deep in the belly. And as you turn your attention more and more to the breath, begin to get curious about sensations of breath. And allow your attention to rest on a specific sensation of breath that you feel the most, whatever stands out for you. For example, sensations of breath at the nostrils or the back of the throat, rise and fall of the chest or the belly. Practicing without efforts, feeling the breath in the body. We're anchoring attention in the body's natural presence. Body's right here. The mind wanders easily, finding the past or the future, running concerns, getting distracted by emotions like anxiety. So we return our focus again and again to sensation of breath. The mind wanders and we come back. The mind wanders and we come back. Increasing present moment awareness, increasing the brain's ability to be focused. The practice of noting can help. So begin with a very simple way of noting what's happening in the moment. So when your attention is on the breath, just simply say to yourself, breath. And you might say breath on the inhale, and breath again on the exhale. And as soon as the attention has wandered, simply say to yourself, not breath, because the attention is no longer on the breath. So two simple labels, two simple ways to note what's happening in the moment as we practice mindfulness. Attention's on the breath. Simply say to yourself, breath. Say it again and again, as long as the attention's there. And with each inhale, with each exhale. And then when the attention wanders, as it will, and sometimes frequently, just simply say to yourself, without judgments, it's not breath. Not breath. You might continue to think. You might continue to be trapped in your concerns or your to-do list. That's okay. But just keep noting on the inhale and then the exhale, not breath. Not breath. Perhaps you're caught in the stream of thinking, not breath. Not breath. And then when you manage to return your attention back to sensation of breath again, you simply say to yourself, breath. Breath. Maybe your attention doesn't stay there long. Not breath. Not breath. And then back to the sensation of breath. 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 It's as simple as that. So I'll be quiet for a minute or so and just experiment with this simple yet powerful practice of noting using these very simple phrases, breath and not breath. And let's shift our practice. We'll continue with noting, but we'll do it in a different way. So we want to get a little more curious about what the mind, the wandering mind, is up to. So when you notice your thoughts about the future, note that. Just say to yourself, future. The thought continues to be about the future, 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 future. Or the thought might be about the past. And you say to yourself, past, past, past. So sometimes the thought, it can be a little tricky to label, but just notice, is it future oriented, even if slightly so, or is it past oriented, even if slightly so? Give it that label, past or future. And then when our attention is anchored on the breath, in the body's natural presence, just say to yourself, presence. So we've got presence, and we've got past to note, and we've got future to note. So when your attention's anchored in the breath and the body, just say to yourself, presence, presence, presence. When the mind wanders, notice and give it a label, past or future. Getting curious about where is the mind? Where is the mind? Sometimes the mind gets distracted in the moment by sound, for example. Distractions can be in the moment. Oftentimes, the mind is in the past and the future. So just experiment with this simple practice of noting where you are, past, present, or future. And I'll be quiet for a minute or so. And let's shift back to our simple practice of breath and not breath. So as you recall, when your attention is on your breath, you say to yourself, breath, over and over on each inhale and exhale. When your attention is wandered, simply say to yourself, not breath. For as long as the attention is away from sensation of breath, you say it again and again, not breath, not breath, not breath. Continue with this practice, and I'll be silent for a moment. Let's prepare to end this practice. Slowly opening your eyes if they're closed. Mindful noting, this simple yet powerful practice that you can use spontaneously throughout the day. Just kind of check in and say, where is my attention? When it's in the future, this is a place of fuel for anxiety. When it's in the future, just bring it back. Feel the body's natural presence, note presence or note breath, and then just get curious. It's in my mind's in the past, it's in the future, simple label, past or future or not breath. Let's experiment. This is also a practice that you can do in bed as you're falling asleep. Just notice where your attention is. As you ground your attention in the body's natural presence, you will fall asleep more readily, and you'll stay asleep longer. Wake up in the middle of the night. You can practice some mindful noting. You find yourself, anxious or losing focus on the job. Take a moment and practice. So neuroplasticity is the way the mind changes structure as we practice mindfulness, so that you can get better and better at increasing awareness and focus. So thank you for joining me for this mindfulness session. And for more information about Unbound Medicine resources and initiatives, email us at wellness@unboundmedicine.com.